Hey Deborah. Yeah, I just wanted to do this verbal feedback. I think it's sometimes easier. So, really nice start here. I just actually have just a little few suggestions, and if you need to work on this and then turn it in later, I usually don't get to grading these till like Wednesday, so I can always just grade the latest one. So my main suggestion is, and you made a good point about the legend. Um, I would really clean that up and be sure to remove this X. I'm not sure. That's usually 'cause it looks like an image was placed there. Yeah, just make sure to turn that off. It also helps to have the JPEG for this kind of stuff because you can see these, the part of the text here that's in the red. It means I don't have the font, so that's why it's looking like that. So I can't really see what you're actually doing. So a few suggestions. I would put, let me try to get rid of this. Yeah, see, I hate how they just keeps they're pinked out so I can't really even see. I wouldn't put things like this logo for the highway. I would just put it straight up. I wouldn't try to put it this way. It's fine to keep the streets like that, but I wouldn't do that with the freeway. I would definitely just put it right side up. I would probably fit the type, maybe make the streets a little bit bigger. It's not that hard to do that. And then I would put make sure that all the street names are right inside of the street. It also works to kind of tidy things up. In terms of the legend, I'm just going to go back into these examples I posted and just give you some suggestions. I also wouldn't put 99 to the side like that. Everything else, I mean, the street name's fine. Another thing while I'm just here, be sure not to distort. See how this is kind of an oval? Be sure never to distort a logo because it just really takes away from the professionalism of it. So I would definitely not do this. I think your text too would be more readable if you just use a simple sans serif font, even similar to like what you're doing here. So let me go back out. I just wanted to go back to these examples, and I was just going to point a couple things out, what really works to unify. I mean, you can see the way some of these legends are. I don't like the small. I would always do smaller font in a very simple sans serif font. But see how this person put these little rounded squares around it? And again, this is another good, and notice how they, with this legend, everything's aligned so it looks more professional. I wouldn't use a bold font because if they would have used a regular font, it would have been easier to read. But again, you can see the way some of these, this really works to unify this, and then they're here, so it makes it look really tidy. And this one here is really good because, again, a little even bit more than a circle, and it has this little kind of pointer thing, and again here too. So really study the way that this legend is. Everything is nicely aligned on it, and then the hotel's a little bit bigger because that's the "you are here" thing. And again, the street names aren't big, but they're still pretty readable. I mean, they could have done a little bit more. They could have put like a highway in here, but again, nice stylized font for the city name. That's probably the only one you really need to stylize. This one should have been zoomed in a little bit more, but again, note how they did their legend. And again, the text is all aligned, and it's just, and notice the size of the legend compared to the rest of the map. This is probably less than a quarter. Probably more like, I don't know, probably like a fifth or even, like a sixth. So that's another thing to really think about. And again, see how these are bigger than the one in the legend. This one works okay. Notice how they put it in circles. It really does work to create a sense of unity. These street names are way too small, but again, the legend is pretty well done. Let's see. This one could have been a little bit better just because, I don't know, I probably would have put Rochester. I probably would have put the legend up in the water someplace in the negative space, and I would have put maybe a white box behind this and put it over here someplace. But again, This one needs work, but again, the legend's okay, even though it would look so much better if it was aligned. This one's should be aligned as well. So, but anyway, I hope that helps. I mean, that's pretty much my suggestions. Is just to really get this legend. Right now, the legend is more than a quarter, so it doesn't need to be that big. And I think that if you put, make it, like something like this, and then you can, you don't need to make the icons probably so big. And yeah, because you're off to a really great start. I love your fairy. So anyway, yeah, let me know if you need any more feedback. I'm always happy to do this when people request, and I think it's sometimes easier. I used to do this kind of feedback every week, but nobody listened to it. But I would just really look at some of those examples and not copy them totally, but you can get some really good pointers from there, and it'll really unify the map and make it just make it a little bit more, interesting. You could always, like, Renaissance is such a big name, you could always change it to something smaller too if you wanted to. That's like, I don't know, I don't even know what hotels are down there, but I mean, you don't even have to use one. You could even use like, oh, I can't even think of any. But okay, anyway, so yeah, I hope you find this useful, and you're really doing great. Your map looks really super. You just need few little refinements. And again, you can also refine it further for week 8 too, when you turn everything in with the city poster. You might want to think of another font too for this Seattle. That's another thing that you could probably, work on as well, just because that's such a big, a big issue or whatever. Okay, so anyway, yeah, nice job.